I stay looking for cherry fragrances and I have more than my fair share. And even though it is absolutely one of the sexiest notes out there, it isn't just that. You can get professional, light, girly, airy, everyday vibes from a good cherry fragrance. And in today's video, I have 5 for you, 5 that I enjoy wearing that you might as well. So stick around if you're interested in getting some sweet cherry goodness into your life, because I got some options here for you and you're welcome.
You know better, but you just can't get enough. You just need the play.
Hi, I'm Jeanique and welcome to this week's fragrance flash guide. And this week we're tackling cherry for your many moods, because even though it is a sexy, sensual, flirty note, we can do other things with cherry. You can do light, we can do airy, we can even do professional. So in today's video, we got 5 moods for 5 cherries. Stick around if you want to get into cherry fragrances, because maybe there's something here to match your aesthetic. Also subscribe if you haven't done so, because you don't want to miss out for more fragrance flash guides, because there will be more to come. The next one is all about caramel. You don't want to miss out. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I call you while life of the party, but you just can't get enough.
First up, we have our sensual, flirty, date night type of cherry fragrance, and it is Jimmy Choo, I Want You Forever. Now, this is what we think about when we think about the quintessential cherry fragrance, with that identifiable, round, full, sweet, a little bit tart cherry note, with other elements that help to sort of boost it. We have a little bit of almond in here for a little bit of creaminess. We have a whole bunch of vanilla goodness, vanilla sweetness. We have some florals in here like rose backing it up, but it isn't a classic rose. It's very young, it's very fresh. A little bit of vetiver, a little bit to give it a little bit of ground, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of woodiness in the base. It makes it a little bit more cloud-like and airy to balance out some of the creaminess of that almond. And in general, this is just a very sexy, sensual, lovely fragrance that you want to spray yourself down with when you're about to hit these streets, because it cannot lose. It just can't. Now, if you're not trying to tap into your flirtatious side and you're instead trying to tap into your bad gal, hot gal, rude girl energy, then I would say Cherry Punk is the way to go here. It is a mix of cherry, pepper, some saffron, so some of those aromatics, and a little bit of leather in the base. When you first spray this, the first thing you get is this really nice creamy tonka, and you think you know where it's gonna go, but that's not where it's going. You then get to this kind of very sweet, alcohol smelling, rich maraschino cherry kind of vibe. Then we get a little bit of pepper, some saffron, so this big aromatic energy, and this nice full cherry just continues to develop. By the time this fragrance dries down, we're landing on what I would call a very feminine leather. I don't think leather is for everybody. I don't think all the leather is for me, because I do love me a feminine fragrance, and I still enjoy this one. It is beautiful. I especially love to layer this one with a very sweet cherry fragrance to ratchet up the feminine energy, to layer over that leather to give even more scrumptiousness. So if you're looking for a cherry fragrance to lay over top, it didn't make this video, but Paris Hilton's Ruby Rush, which is like a very sweet, milky kind of heavy cherry fragrance, is really great with this one, especially with that leather base. It just makes it even sexier. But Cherry Punk is a fantastic option if you're looking to give a little bit more femme fatale vixen energy with the cherry fragrance you're wearing. This pulls that off without heading too far in the masculine direction. What cherry fragrance screams professional? Because we also got some cherry fragrances out here that is giving off its vibes, and I want to introduce you to one of them, because maybe you already know, but maybe you don't, and it is Afnan's Modeste Deux. Now, here's the thing. This is a lovely fragrance overall, and it mixes together things like chocolate with some cherry, some strawberry. We got some patchouli, gardenia, musk. We have vanilla in here. It is a beautiful fragrance. This is a slightly fresher take on Lancome's La Nuit Tresor. So if you already have La Nuit Tresor and you think that is fire, because I do, it's one of my favorite date night fragrances, then this is a slightly more daytime ready, work appropriate version of that really heavy jammy fragrance. This is beautiful. This is lovely. I'm obsessed with this. I also love the gardenia and the patchouli in the base, because I feel like white florals and patchouli together, especially a light cleaner patchouli, scream office. It screams professional. It screams like I know what I'm doing, but I want to smell lovely at the same time. And I think this gives that. I feel like it's really complimentary, and it's an easy wear. It's an inexpensive option if you're looking for that La Nuit Tresor like DNA without going overboard and paying Lancome prices. Just FYI, Lancome stays giving discounts. Right now, I think there's a discount over at Shoppers, like a $20,000 points, or $20 off essentially on Lancome fragrances, like all of the Lancome fragrances, I think through to October. This is not sponsored, by the way, like literally I just saw it and I'm about to take advantage. But Lancome stays doing 20 and 25% off on their fragrances. So you should never be buying Lancome fragrances full price, just FYI. But even if you don't want to pay those prices at a discount, you can go with an Arabian fragrance like Modeste de from Afnan. It's usually found on some of the discount websites or on Amazon at a fraction of the cost, and it performs really well. The spices in here, the patchouli, the musk, all of them really work to give this fragrance a good longevity. You can get the full work day out of it, or you can drop this in your bag too and you know, top up at work, just top it up and just smell good. You know what I mean? This is a lovely one if you're looking for a cherry fragrance for work. If it's a work from home day, or it's a Saturday and you're running errands and you're going to the grocery store, what can you wear to get your cherry fix without going overboard or choking anybody out, right? I think a good inexpensive option is always to look at what Zara has to offer. They sell like 110 fragrances. There is bound to be something in the bunch that is inexpensive, because they're all inexpensive, that gives what you need it to give. So as far as cherry goes, I'm a fan of this one. It is a Violet Blossom. Now, I had done my Zara video, just sort of reviewing and looking at all the reviews on TikTok, on YouTube about Zara fragrances, trying to figure out which ones were well loved. And the Violet Blossom was not a very popular one, but I looked at the notes. I saw a review from Ksenia, and I thought to myself, it sounds like me. I'm gonna give it a shot because I want to. And I picked this up and I've had no regrets. It's a very light, airy cherry fragrance that leans toward the floral direction. So this is not cherry fruit per se. This is cherry blossom with some violet. I think there's some magnolia in here. It's just a very light, sweet, with a sweet fragrance with a cherry nuance that is great for just sitting at home and watching a little bit of TV. You just want to smell sort of fresh and lightly cherry sweet. Then this gives that at a really inexpensive cost. So I'm a fan of this one as far as Zara fragrances go. Even their more popular ones, I do think this is a pretty one if you love the smell of cherry. Yeah, that's nice. I have one more fragrance here, but I want to give you a little bit of context about why this fragrance is such a fun one for me, and why I enjoy it so much, and why I feel it's a little bit different than the other ones that I've recommended today. Now, cherry is an incredibly volatile note that tends to disappear in 10 to 30 minutes after you spray it on. With even the best intentions, perfumers just can't get it to last the way we would get other notes to last. Cherry disappears the way that citrus disappears. Now, one of the ways that perfumers get cherries to work better is by pairing it with notes with a similar compound structure that it gets to bind with and powers through a little bit longer. Now, cherry has this compound called benzaldehyde, right? And benzaldehyde is found in other fruits, vegetables, nuts that exist in nature that it can be paired with to do better. And one of the main ones is almond, right? Almond has benzaldehyde, so it's apples, apricots, other stone fruit. And tonka bean has some of the elements of like almonds and so on in it. So what you'll often find is a lot of cherry fragrances are paired with almonds or with apples or with peaches or apricots or whatever. And so finding a cherry fragrance that just doesn't have that sort of heft that something like Tom Ford Lost Cherry has, that has that real like creamy body to it, can be a bit of a challenge if you want it to last on your skin. So when I found this cherry fragrance that brings in apples to help do the work that almonds would normally do, without having all of that sort of body heft, sort of that wintry vibe to it, I got very excited. It instead has champagne in the base, and so we have a lighter, airier, funner cherry fragrance here, and it is Paris Hilton's Dazzle. Now, a lot of times when you see a cherry fragrance that doesn't have some of those corresponding notes like almonds or tonka, you best believe the cherry is going to disappear real fast. It just won't stick around. But in this one, it does, and that cherry carries through. It's a more of a sweet candy cherry smell, but the champagne makes makes it fizzy and light and fun and easy to wear, and it's a lot of fun. So you're going out, you want to have a nice joyous day, you're going to be playing in the park, you're going to be splashing in the pool, you're going to be running around living your best life, and you want something really fun and exciting, then this is one to do it in, and it's Dazzle. And I'm such a fan of this one, and I like how they use the apple to do a lot of the work they tend to use tonka and almond to do in cherry fragrances, because we don't need every cherry fragrance to have almond and tonka. Even if we love the combination, we need some variety out here, and this offers just a little bit of variety. Have you tried any of these cherry perfumes? If so, leave it down in the comment section. If you have a favorite cherry perfume, I also want to hear about it, because I'm always on the hunt, always on the lookout for a good cherry fragrance. And I love y'all's recommendations as far as perfumes go, because I have not lost when y'all have put me on game. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out my last fragrance flash guide video all about vanillas, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next fragrance flash guide all about caramel fragrances. Again, I'm Jeanique, a lover of all things supple cherry fragrances, and the one here to put you on game about all of them. And I'll see you in the next one to talk about caramel fragrances. Bye, y'all.
Baby, you're the one and only. Baby, you've been on my mind. You know you don't have to be lonely. You can come and take my time.